everyone, welcome back to another episode of Two Bros, One Beard. I'm John.
And I'm Michael.
And we're going to do another new album review today. This one just dropped yesterday, and that is Foregone by In Flames. Now, let's get this out of the way. I've been an In Flames fan for quite a long time, and bro, I think it's safe to say you are not at all an In Flames fan, right?
I have not been. Yep.
And,
This is my,
and
this
you
is
have
my
not
first exposure to In Flames, so please forgive my ignorance. Yeah. So John's a big fan. We wanted to review this, so he told me just give it a listen. So I did. And this isn't my genre. I really don't like anything with death metal vocals. I mean, maybe a little bit, in a song, over a chorus or something, or just briefly, but usually not my thing. And yeah, I haven't had any exposure to this band. Obviously, I've heard of them, and I know they're a big deal in the metal community. So
well,
I give it a try. So
it sounds like it might continue to not necessarily be your thing. At least not this record's not the one that's going to convince you, but we'll get to that.
Probably not. Yeah.
So
that's okay.
All right. So this is the first release with the new lineup, and they are now joined officially by Chris Broderick on guitar, accompanying Bjorn Gillot.
Okay.
And we have Bjorn and Anders, who are the longtime members who have been with the band since album number 2 in 1996. I guess they joined sometime in 95, I presume. But so interesting where In Flames is at these days. There's not technically a founding member in the group, but one could argue that those first 5 years are really just them kind of finding their sound and discovering where they wanted to go. I mean, that second album is really where I think the In Flames sound was born, and Bjorn had a lot to do with that, and so did Anders. We also have Bryce Paul, and we have Tanner Wayne. So this is In Flames for the year 2023, and I've been looking forward to this record for quite a while. I think I've been kind of like talking to you a lot about it, bro. How excited I was.
Yeah.
And it really comes.
I think you heard one song and you said this is my album of 2023. Oh.
Yeah, I did say that, and mainly because that first single they dropped was a State of Slow Decay, and I was just completely blown away by that song, by the riffs, by the vocal delivery, the lyrics, the catchiness of the chorus. And I was like, okay, I think there's been a lot of talk about the Halo effect, because that is this new side project with all former members of In Flames, and everyone was raving about that. And then the album dropped, and I have to say I didn't necessarily see it get quite the reception that I thought it deserved, or that I think was expected.
Yeah.
But I think good things are in the works for those guys, and they're going to continue to do awesome things. But there was always this comparison when I was noticing on comment threads, as we would see photos of like Bjorn recording the guitars for this new record, and it was like, well, but Halo effect, and that's and it's like, well, hey, give these guys a chance. So to me, that State of Slow Decay was a sign of things to come.
Well, maybe that gave them some extra motivation. Like, we got top this thing.
I don't know.
I mean, are they still like, friendly, or I don't know. Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think. And
okay.
It's not a competition. I really don't. So me personally, that's one thing I just want to get out of the way. Listening to this whole record all the way through, I don't buy into any of the belief that this was in any way an answer to Halo effect. I mean, first of all, In Flames would have been well underway recording this thing before that record dropped. So
okay,
I think this is really just the direction they wanted to go. And I think they've delivered a phenomenal record overall. I think this is, in a lot of ways, a real welcomed return to form on at least half of these tracks.
Okay.
And then the other half of the tracks, I would say it's in line with what they've been doing, and they continue to do that great too. So, there's going to be some criticism over the fact that, all of the songs they released as singles for this record, and there have been 6, I believe.
Okay.
Which is quite substantial.
Half the record.
Yeah. So
why don't you talk about like which songs remind you of classic In Flames? What is more of their newer?
That's what I was about to get to, because really the heavier stuff that they put out first, I think, is the more a callback to everything from Just Erase up through perhaps Come Clarity. So I think that for sure, State of Slow Decay, that was single number 1. The Great Deceiver. And then I think we got Foregone Part 1, Foregone Part 2, and then Meet Your Maker. So that's 5 songs. Okay. So five songs released before the release date. And then they put out in the transmission as a lyric video, I think just yesterday with the record. So but yeah, those 5, if that was going to give somebody and maybe this was on purpose, but this might have given someone the impression that the whole record was going to be in this this kind of song structure. It is not, but I'm totally okay with that because of just how to me absolutely stunning those tracks are, particularly Meet Your Maker. When that dropped a month or 2 ago, I was like, man, these guys, like, I'm so happy they did this and they went back to that. And if I'd had 12 songs of that, I don't know, maybe it would have gotten a little old. So it's actually kind of nice to have the mix of Bleeding Out, Pure Light of Mind, In the Dark.
See, what's funny is those are the songs that I like more.
I thought that might be the case. Yeah. But I mean, could you agree that, or I don't know if this is at all what you thought, but like on Meet Your Maker, for instance, that chorus. Like, does it kind of stand out? Like, man, they write a good chorus.
Yeah, it was catchier than I anticipated. Usually, most death metal bands, I'm just like almost like it's not music to me. It's just like it's too brutally heavy, and I can't like find the melody. But these songs are at least melodic enough, catchy enough on the choruses, even if it's not using the clean vocal style, to where it's grabby enough. I don't zone out when I listen to it. So State of Slow Decay, I did kind of like. It opens up with like kind of just like an instrumental, and I was like, all right, and.
The album,
So this is
Beginning of All Things.
I don't even know what to expect. I don't even know what the singer sounds like.
Yeah.
But I like Bleeding Out, obviously, because I like more of that vocal style. But his death metal vocals remind me enough of like a Stu Block, who's the other singer that I would like in that that vein. And so I enjoyed it enough. And the transmission was great. And then their closest thing, or I guess the most melodic, mellow song was Pure Light of Mind. So I like that one as well. The Great Deceiver, I was kind of hoping that was going to be a Evergrey cover, but it wasn't.
That's true.
And then I liked.
Did you notice? I don't know if you caught the lyric on that one where he said, Joey was right, this is the final countdown. Did you catch what that? Did you catch that line?
I didn't catch that line.
Okay.
I've only given it one listen, so to be fair to me, So
no, it's fine. It's just it's the one kind of lighthearted moment of the record, I think, and that's of course a reference to the final countdown by Europe.
Oh, okay.
Which Swedish band, they probably
they're probably Swedish loyalty. I mean royalty there.
Royalty, yeah.
I think so. But I thought it was a little funny on Bleeding Out because it sounded too happy, and then like the chorus was like, I mean the lyrics are like super dark, but. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. There's great riffs, great solos. I mean, I like the artwork, even though it kind of looks like something from like 1987 or something, like classic metal cover. But
the cover is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they've had this mascot forever, and just the way it's depicted is just so awesome. Yeah. So that's kind of what I want to get into next. It definitely, between the cover and the thread of the lyrical content all the way through, they this is clearly another band. We just talked about Riverside, who was very much affected by the lockdown period and the pandemic, and they had a tour that was canceled, mid tour or at the start of it, I guess, for the last record, Eye the Mask. And what I really resonate with on this record in particular is just kind of this. It's kind of a bittersweet and mournful take on the passage of time. That time is fleeting. That our time, whether it's to enjoy life or to be with loved ones or to whatever, is only for a season. And it also, on the maybe bleaker side of things, is that it's running out, like literally running. And You
That's
know,
cool. I mean, I wasn't able to kind of really analyze the lyrics, but that's always been something I pondered, just how fleeting life is, and
mhm.
how obviously the happy moments in life just fly by, and the downtimes seem to never end, or go by so slowly. Just the way time works is kind of a quandary,
Yeah, yeah, and it really, to me, speaks to the human condition on this record.
Yeah.
This is these guys are not, they're not young anymore. I mean, In Flames started in 1990, I believe. But we're talking
Okay.
about, another band that's put in 3 decades and looking back on arguably a very successful career, but also looking ahead to, I mean, their time is fleeting too. I mean,
Yeah.
how many more records are these guys going to be able to do? I hope a few more. Anders was commenting that, he's dedicated to this band until he can't do it anymore, or until, like, if Bjorn were to give it up,
Yeah.
then, that might be the time to throw in the towel. But, I hope they got a little bit more left. I think, for guys being in there, I think probably in their 50s, to do a song like Meet Your Maker or Foregone Part 2. I mean,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great that, they're still able to deliver that kind of intensity. But
Yeah,
then
because I
also,
mean, I mean, you get to a certain age where you just can't keep that constant aggression going. I would think, you kind of have to mellow out a little bit.
yeah, well, it's that plus the insightfulness and introspectiveness of
Yeah.
the lyrics, and it's not all, bleak and terrible. I think it's
Yeah.
actually, it reminds me a bit of the, not exactly the lyrical themes, but where Evergrey is now, where it's still pretty sad and dark, but
Yeah.
there's that tinge of like something, some sort of light there,
Yeah.
and that's something I really appreciate
It's
about
uplifting enough.
uplifting enough, and that's
Yeah.
what's really cool about In Flames, that I think really differentiates them from the pack in terms of those bands they came up with in Gothenburg or around
Yeah.
Sweden. I think they've really
Well,
figured out
I
a
mean,
way
there's
to
just
do
a lot
this.
of bands that when they're young, they're just so angry. It's like I think as you get
Yeah,
a
they had
little
their
older,
time.
you just kind of lighten up a little bit.
Sure,
You
sure.
learn to appreciate things, and
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm really excited about this record. I think this is going to be on my top 5 for sure at the end of the year.
Sweet.
And yeah, like I said, I've liked this band for a really long time. I was not huge on I the Mass, but I really loved Battles, and then I love the early stuff, like the first 5 records. It's that middle period that I'm still a little bit not the most excited about it, but I do go back to those records too. But I think this is a perfect mix of where they've been heading post Jesper, when he left the band a few years back, and so that time period plus paying homage and really bringing back the influences from the early days, and having somebody like Chris Broderick now on board. I mean, I can definitely hear the difference when his solos come in, and it's a great. Well, they're really distinct from Bjorn's guitar solos, and I guess one could argue that he wasn't used to his full capabilities on this record, I suppose. But he's in there, and when you take note of like when he's soloing versus when Bjorn's soloing, it's cool. It's another element to In Flames that's new and it's fresh, and hopefully he'll stick it out with them for a while. I mean, Chris has notoriously bounced from band to band over his career. It'd be really awesome to see him really sink his teeth into this group, and who knows, maybe on the next record have some co-writing credits. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's about it. I high praise for this one, and definitely recommend everyone to check it out if you're a fan, I say, of any era of In Flames' career. I think if you are, there's going to be at least a track or two or half or all of it that you're going to find to your liking. So
yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I've been listening to their earlier stuff, but I always think it's a good idea to make an album that doesn't, alienate too many people, to where you have kind of a nice mix of old and new, so everyone could kind of gravitate towards that. It's kind of the way to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that about does it. Bro, I want to thank you for checking this one out with me.
No problem.
Know how much I love it. And I'm sure I owe you a band I don't care for down the road here. So
yes,
my
you
time will
do.
come.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for checking out this video. Please, if you would, we'd like to encourage you to like and subscribe, and come back soon for more content. We
Yep.
plan on trying to put out a couple videos a week and keep this going for as long as we can. So.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So thank you for checking out another new album review from Two Bros, One Beard, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.
Take care, everyone.